I'm Josh Liston from On the Bubble podcast, an oral history of television fandom, part of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the show you're checking out now. Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other awesome geeky shows at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 366 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. This is recorded live on Sunday, July 21st, 2019. For some reason, I almost said January, and that would have sucked because I don't want to go back in time that long. But yes, we are back after last week's unplanned shutdown of things. Hey, sorry, guys, things happen. Sorry it was late notice. We will try not to have that happen in the future. But we are back, and there is a absolute crap load of things to talk about this week. But thankfully, I do have some support with my other two co-hosts, that being first, the one and only WIllie D. Nelson.
I was rushing back from out of town to get back. I even called you saying, hey, I might be a little late, but I was going to be there, but no, and he said, no, we're not going to do it. It's okay.
And the one who isn't high-pitched sounding, Anthony Bachman.
Yeah, apparently the Chris supporters have returned. We're here to keep Chris alive and podcasting.
Speak for yourself.
I'm pretty sure WIllie wants me dead.
I'm pretty sure he wants only dogs to be able to hear this podcast.
That's also possible.
Well, here's a little factoid for you. You know how, like, you know, when everyone does like the old radio voice, they talk like this, and in the news today, you know, like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
There was apparently a fucking reason for that. Apparently, the reason that it was for that is because the microphones, you know, they couldn't pick up like bass tones, so they had to talk like that. I had no idea. It's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Fucking microphone technology, huh?
I had no idea either.
At least I heard about that. I don't know if it's true. I never researched it, so I could be just fucking talking on my ass. I don't know.
I got $5 as he's talking out of his ass.
Well, I mean, talking out of my ass. I didn't make it up. I heard it.
He's not on camera. He literally could be sitting there, like, moving his ass cheeks back and forth and talking out of it right now.
I must ask you a question.
He's doing an Ace Ventura for the whole podcast.
You goddamn right.
It's Will's Ventura is what this guy is, not Ace Ventura.
Oy.
Ass righty then.
Oh, what did I just do?
Made it worse.
Yeah,
like always, you made it worse.
I probably It tends to be what I do. But hey, guys, at least it was last week that we took off, not this week. There is a crap load of stuff because Comic-Con. I don't even think we'll be able to touch everything that's come out of Comic-Con, but there's a boatload of things, a variety of things, such as, like, The Orville is no longer going to be on Fox. It's now a Hulu original. And I went,
what?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I didn't even hear about that. Holy shit.
And it will probably not be out until late 2020, evidently, because of Seth MacFarlane's schedule, and that's why they moved it to Hulu.
Unless we do a 4-hour show, we can't cover everything. No. There was too much.
Was it already on Hulu, like the previous seasons?
Yes, because it was a Fox show, so Fox can... And technically Disney owns The Orville now that I think about it.
Yep.
Wait, they do? How?
They own
Fox
the majority
TV.
stake. They own the majority. They own the majority stake in Hulu. Either way,
that's true.
But it's also that it was part of Fox Television stuff,
Fox
which is part of the Fox acquisition. So they own the Orville, which means technically they own Family Guy now.
Okay.
In addition to The Simpsons and all that other stuff, this acquisition gets bigger and bigger every time.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about that, but Disney, I'm keeping my eye on you. Don't fuck up again.
Well, you heard it here first. Willie's watching you, Disney, so keep your ass together, because one WIllie D. Nelson's going to be after you if you don't.
Wait, what did they fuck up?
When they fucking fired James Gunn. You remember the whole thing? I had a whole tirade about it.
Honestly, if that's their biggest fuck up so far, I'll take that over a Justice League movie any day.
Wait, what do you mean? What?
You want to talk about company fuck ups? They fired someone and then rehired him later after a deal went through when no one could say shit and then give him the same job back.
Are you talking about Zack Snyder?
I'm talking about a poorly made movie.
Oh, I thought, because I mean, there was a reason he left that. I can't blame him for that. I was like, Jesus.
I have no problem with Zack Snyder leaving when he did. Whether I like his films or not, which I love some of his other films. I don't like his DC work. But yeah, no, I have no problem with why he left. It sucked for his family, and anybody that had a problem with that, fuck them. No,
Yeah.
I'm saying if the worst thing Disney did was not have somebody make a film and then a year and a half later go, nah, we're gonna have it make it anyways because fuck you, now we own Fox and you can't do anything about it. If that's their biggest mistake, when DC should have had the first $3 billion movie in history with Batman versus Superman, and they fucked it up and gave us Martha instead. By comparison, yeah, Disney, I'm just fine. If that's their biggest mistake was for the firing of James Gunn, by comparison, yeah, they're solidly in the lead. I'm good with Disney.
Yeah, and I'm still on record saying Man of Steel is the best DC movie.
No.
Yes.
Well, that's because you haven't seen Shazam.
I have seen Shazam, and I was
Well,
all
then
like,
you
it's all right.
Stupid.
Thank you, Naka.
Okay. Yeah, shut the fuck up. I'm talking to you, Chris, not Naki. I love Naki. Naki's the best. But she is also
Shut up, Naki.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, now they're arguing back and forth.
All right, now. The robots are rising. But there is something I want to talk about before we get into anything today.
Ooh, what do you got for us, Willie? What do you got?
Something it's not newsworthy, I guess. It could be, but it's just something I want. It's a little annoying to me. Have you guys watched Stranger Things yet?
I have not even seen season 1 of Stranger Things yet.
Well, this is
I
spoiling
finished
nothing.
season 3 already, so
There's no spoiling of this. There is apparently you got a little bit of backlash from people about the smoking in it, which it was the fucking 80s. People smoked every goddamn where, no matter where you fucking were. Do you remember when McDonald's had those little metal tin ashtrays?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm sorry about the grandfather clock. I'm trying to talk through it, but it don't matter. Yeah. So, and then people are also angry about the oh god, what's the right term? The machismo? No, that's not the right word. You're being manly. What's the fucking word for it? The term for
alpha male testosterone.
Yeah. They got angry about that too.
About
Like I guess about
who?
Sheriff Hopper, about how he's like kind of like a little angry or something in some parts, and he's trying like, I'm the man here, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, that's his character.
And it's it's all right because first of all, it's the fucking 80s. It's a period piece. Shit happened. You want to change fucking history? Well, you're just fucking wrong on that. Fuck you. I have no problem with it. I mean, if it came out today, people acted like that. Well, I mean, depending upon the character and who it is and what kind of light they shown it in, because they actually shown it in a bad light. Joyce in the show was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Something's going on here. Stop being fucking stupid." So, I mean, that was the whole thing. And he's like, "Oh shit, I'm wrong. You were right."
I didn't hear anything about the alpha male stuff. I heard about the smoking thing, which, I mean, during the 80s, some people did finally stop saying, hey, baby cigarettes aren't good for pregnant women. Like, that is kind of when that turnaround started. So if they want to pull smoking a little bit out of the show, honestly, I think it's good for the actors. Because in the scenes where they have to smoke, if they get a line wrong, they're re-smoking a cigarette over and over and over and over.
And well, actually, Netflix has said, well, we're pulling all smoking from all our shows.
Now, see, that's just stupid.
I thought it was they were cutting back on it, not.
Well, cutting. I mean, do you think they're not just going to pull it out completely?
I don't know.
Well,
season 4 probably have no smoking in it.
Cutting back and completely removing is not the same thing.
Well, I know, but I think that's what they might do.
But I mean, yeah, there's a reason that like Mad Men was fucking a show covered in cigarette smoke. Like people smoked all the time in the 60s. They thought it was healthy at the time. It was so fucking crazy.
I'm sure. Like, I never watched
the cigarettes just disappeared off Mad Men. That would have been ridiculous because that wouldn't have been fucking true to the time period.
No, I never watched Mad Men, but did they ever have a scene in an airplane?
I don't know. I only started the first season.
Because I know
back to it.
Because I know there was smoking on airplanes, right?
Yeah, used to smoke on airplanes. Hell,
how is
my ship that was built in, I think, the 80s, the destroyer that I served on, still had ashtrays in the armchairs in combat. They were welded shut by the time I got on the ship in 98, but the ashtrays were still there. They used to smoke inside ships in every room. Like, it's insane.
Now, my thing is, like, they allowed smoking in theaters too. Would that not mess with
Yeah.
the projector light?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
All
probably
movies
an
were a
effect
little
that people
fuzzy.
Everyone
Okay,
got
I would
used to
have
it, but
I would have a problem with that just because that's quality of movie right there. Don't be fucking with that. I am very adamant on that.
Yeah, but with the fact that probably at least 60 to 70% of the audience was smoking, the small number of people who weren't smoking couldn't complain because they weren't the majority.
That's fair. I mean,
And
I am a little bit of
it was probably kind of an even fuzz across the entire room, so it seemed even on the screen.
no, I am also a little bit of a theater snob. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I don't like going to shitty theaters. All right, when I go to a movie, I want a great fucking experience.
That's why I pay for VIP tickets at the Village Cinema in Meridian.
Actually, you know what I started doing, and I actually find it fucking awesome. And the seats are always available, no matter what. Even though I go to there in the middle of the day anyway, just because less people, and I fucking like less people.
Yeah.
But I started sitting in like the third row, and because the place I go to mostly has recliner seats, so you're already leaning back anyway, so your head's already looking upwards anyway. So I mean, you're just closer. You get like it's like your bigger fucking view. You're like, sure, you have to move your head a little bit, but that's part of the fun for me at least. I don't say
Yeah, who doesn't like going to the theater and getting a little ahead?
I wasn't going there, and
I did.
I don't know. That's a little too public for me.
This guy's creepy.
Depends on the theater.
Wait, was that for me or for Bachman?
who do you think?
Well, since I wasn't being the creepy one here, so I want to say it's for Bachman.
There you go.
Just making sure, knowing you would probably twist this and turn it on me.
Why would I ever do such a thing?
Fuck you, Chris.
Jeez.
You're a bad person.
You're a bad person.
Oh, I thought he didn't have a high-pitched voice.
Evidently, I was wrong.
Yeah, you are. Well, I mean, you're mostly wrong.
Well, since I'm wrong, we should all just get used to it. But hey, we got a bunch of news we need to go through, so let's power on through into the news of the week.
Well, you're wrong on that.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
So this is the news of the week. It's that part of the show where we run down what is in our minds some of the most interesting, geeky, and or nerdy news to have popped up in the past couple weeks. There's a lot of Comic-Con stuff, guys. A lot of stuff we're not going to get into fully. But one thing that pleasantly surprised me, and I ate my crow on Twitter, is I know that Sailor Poland had talked about potential issues with Star Trek Picard and why it might not be right. But hot damn, I saw the trailer at Comic-Con and I went, I kind of want to watch this show. And then they revealed some characters I wasn't expecting to see in there. And then Patrick Stewart did his press tour and said, oh yeah, I'm shooting a scene with Jonathan Frakes on Monday. And I was like, what? Did you guys see the trailer for Picard?
Who's Jonathan Frakes?
He is Will Riker,
Riker.
in Next Gen.
Oh, okay. I
Mr.
never
Step
watched.
over the back of the chair.
Yes.
Never really saw Star Trek, any of it.
Okay, well, then I don't know if I
Oh.
necessarily want to talk about the trailer if Anthony hasn't seen it yet, because it reveals a few things and you go,
It's fine. You can
Yeah, I was
spoil
about
it.
to say, who
You
cares?
can spoil
okay.
it.
So
Who cares about Bachman?
some of the stuff that came out of that is we never knew if anyone from Next Gen was going to show up. Well, one of the big reveals is Data's back somehow, and Brent
Yeah, I
Spiner's
saw
on
that.
set.
Yeah, 'cause I thought I saw on Twitter like a short clip. Someone showed like them pulling like a drawer out, and it had all the data pieces in it.
And then
I
at
got
the-
this. I got this. Nobody puts data in a box.
There you go. And then at the end, Picard is playing cards with Data, and it is Brent Spiner. But I don't think he's in makeup. I think he's in a face mask now because he's probably aged enough he can't look like Data. So it is Brent Spiner that is playing cards with Data, with Picard in Data makeup. So we don't know if he's B4 or Data or whatnot.
I mean, he's in like heavy makeup the whole time. I know it's just like coloration, but they can kind of fix that with that coloration.
I think it was more of a mask from some of the stuff I'd seen on Twitter, but I'm not 100% sure.
mask.
Yeah, 'cause back in the days, they coated him in a layer of pancake makeup that was so thick that his skin looked plastic.
Yep.
So yeah, nowadays it'd probably be easier to just do a mask.
And it
Are we
gets
talking about
around
a
the peskiness
CG
of
mask?
aging.
No,
talking
like
about-
an
Okay.
actual physical plastic mask on his face. Just because
Ooh.
I mean, yeah, the guy's older, so he has wrinkles and stuff. It
Well,
would
that's
be
why you-
harder to. It would be harder to get that out with makeup.
It's been
Just
20
take
years.
it on.
It's been 20 years since he was last Data. He's not going to
Yeah.
look the same. And even then, that was one of his things. He goes, "Look, guys, I'm getting older, and Data's not supposed to age. What's going on?" But it seems like Star Trek Picard, there's a lot of focus on the Borg in some way, shape, or form. You see what seems like a prison scene, and there's a countdown that says X number of days since last assimilation. And then you hear a voice while Picard is filling up his drink and says something to the effect of, "What are you doing out on this side of space, Picard?" Or something, saving the still trying to save the galaxy, Picard, or something like that. And the camera pans and turns around, and Jerry Ryan's back as 7 of 9.
Oh yeah,
And-
half dozen of the other. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, Jerry Ryan, still a very attractive woman, even after
Well,
20 years her last being on screen.
I was gonna ask, was that the hot chick I keep hearing about?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the blonde.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was. Woo!
Yeah.
She
So-
can fill a bodysuit.
I don't know where they're going with this, but I saw enough that made me go, "God damn it, I'm going to have to subscribe to CBS All Access for like the 2 months while they piecemeal out episodes of this show or something like that." And I'm kind of okay with it now. It looked like it was interesting. We'll wait and see what more comes out of it. I don't know. It could very well turn into what Sailor Poland had heard it was going to be. From what we've seen here, it's not impossible for that to be the case, but I honestly have no idea what's going to happen. But it's enough.
What
that I'm
exactly did he say?
that it was kind of a crap show, and it's Picard working for Starfleet Intelligence and kind of being bitter and jaded on things, and didn't seem to be much in the spirit of Captain Picard.
So is Picard Space Fleet CIA?
We don't know. That was what one of the sources were saying, is that it was not very much in spirit with what Picard was. I don't know. What we saw at Comic-Con was enough for me to go, I might give this a chance.
Okay, so you are a Trek fan, but the Star Trek, what's the new show called? I can't remember.
Discovery?
Discovery. So Discovery wasn't enough to get you to get the CBS All Access pass, but apparently now the trailer for Picard might be. Is that what you're saying?
Patrick Stewart and Brent Spiner and Jerry Ryan all
Okay.
doing a Star Trek series set 20 years after the last movie has me going, I'm really interested because it's characters I know and like. Star Trek Discovery was, we're going to shoehorn more stuff in between the TV shows you've seen that are
Yeah.
somehow going to become canon. And then, at the end, we're going to launch them 2,000 years into the future because we're tired of playing around in this canon. That second part is intriguing because they don't have to mess around with trying to fit into continuity because they're in their own continuity now. But
I didn't know they got jumped into the future.
yeah, they got jumped into the future at the end. 2000 could be an over-exaggeration. I don't remember how much it is, but it's well past the events of any of the current Trek we have. So
Okay.
that is actually interesting to me because
So
they're
then my
not.
question is, if you get it to watch Picard, will you then watch Discovery while you have it?
Maybe. I got a bunch of stuff I need to watch, so maybe.
So it's even still a maybe, even after you have all access, that you might watch Discovery.
I just don't care. That's more of what it is.
Honestly, I'm trying to find out the interest level for Star Trek fans, because of the three of us, you're definitely more of a Star Trek fan than the other two of us. Because I was one of the ones that kind of like the Star Warsy version of J.J. Abrams' Star Trek. I actually like the reboots, which they don't feel like Star Trek. They feel
Star
like
Trek
fucking
Beyond
Star
is
Wars,
a fantastic movie, by the way. The first two, take them or leave them. Star Trek Beyond, awesome. I think Star Trek 2, Into Darkness or whatever, tried too hard to be like, we're going to play with your expectations on what Wrath of Khan was. Look how smart we are. He's actually Khan. Like, we all called it when the first trailers came out.
It's like, we all knew he was going to be Khan. You
Oh,
dumbasses.
look, we didn't kill Spock. We killed Kirk. Look how smart we are. I was like, no, you just literally did the opposite of what happened in that movie. You're not that smart.
So you're saying he was Benedict Cumberbatch?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure that joke was already made.
I'm
I just
sure it
thought of
was.
it.
But
Yeah.
I just wanted to touch on Star Trek Picard because we had talked about it before on the show, and I'm curious. Next time Sailor Poland is on in the chat, we can ask if his opinion has changed any on Picard based off what he's seen and what has leaked out. And let's be honest, it's Patrick Stewart back on the screen. I'm really intrigued by that myself. I don't know. I'm kind of waffling on this one. I'll get over it though.
I'm sorry, what?
Waffling.
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 Would you say you're blue waffling?
No.
No.
No. No, Willie. And what I would say is, hey, Willie, tell us about your news now.
Well, my news isn't really news. It's more of a reviews.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there, and I hate myself a little bit for letting it happen.
Oh, you didn't let it happen. it was
Oh, he
going
let
to
it
happen
happen.
regardless of
He
what
let it-
you
let it
I
had
could
any
just
say
mute
of.
you.
Go ahead then.
I'm
You
not
see what
going
you let
to.
happen, Chris? You see what you let happen?
I
Call
know.
out your bluff, motherfucker.
I don't care that much. Go ahead.
So I had a whole roller coaster of a fucking week.
A whole week.
damn. So I was so excited. The game I've been waiting for like 10 years for, the sequel to, was coming out Tuesday. I was like, fuck yeah, because video games come out on Tuesdays.
Are
It's
you
the
sure about the
fucking-
Tuesday part?
Shut the fuck up, we're getting to it. So Tuesday comes and I'm all excited. I'm just waiting for 10 o'clock to head on down to GameStop because yes, I pre-ordered the goddamn game because I wasn't sure how well this, like, if they're like, well, I wasn't sure if it's gonna be a big game for or not. So I just want to make sure they have a copy for me. I only pre-ordered like a week ahead of time, less than, just to make sure I could get a copy because I would, you're never sure if they're just gonna get just what they pre-ordered and fuck off everybody else.
You could have
I
just
don't know.
bought it digitally and had it at 12:01 a.m.
For some reason, I kind of want to have all my Switch games physically. I don't know why.
Oh wait, even if you did buy it digitally, it'd take 6 hours to download on your internet.
Well, I would go somewhere for it to be like I would get fast internet.
And
access.
Willie's sitting in the McDonald's parking lot having a cheeseburger, watching his Switch download.
Look, you say that like it wouldn't happen. I was at McDonald's. This is probably 6 years ago, and it was one of the ones locally that had Wi-Fi. And there was a dude in there with his desktop PC and monitor playing
Sorry.
video games.
Whoa!
Yes, it was a
Now
desktop.
I have seen pictures of that at a Starbucks. No, I mean, I wouldn't go to a fucking McDonald's. I would go to a Sheetz. But I mean, technically, I would come to my mom's because she has fucking awesome internet. Just saying, even though she doesn't even fucking use it, I don't understand that. But anyway, yeah. So Tuesday it was about like 9-ish o'clock, and I'm like, yeah, it comes out now, and something clicks in my brain, like, well, let me just look up the release date here for a second. Oh fuck, it's not today. God damn it, it's Thursday. Why games come out on Tuesday? Why is it fucking Thursday? So I'm like, fine. I was fucking wait 2 goddamn more days. I'm pissed off by it. Wednesday rolls around, and all of a sudden, Chris in our group chat just says, "Hey, you getting excited? 2 more days." I'm like, "What do you mean 2
That's
more
me.
days?"
Hi.
Yeah, I know it's fucking you. And I'm like, "Wait, what do you mean 2 more fucking days? It comes out tomorrow." And I look down, I look at my phone, pull down, see what the date is. I'm like, "What the fuck? It's the 17th." God damn it, I got my fucking dates wrong. It's on fucking Friday.
That's your
Why
fault.
Why do games come out on fucking Friday? That's fucking stupid as hell. Games come out Tuesdays. DVDs and Blu-rays and 4Ks come out on Tuesdays. Comics comes out on Wednesdays. Movies on Fridays. I know they've been pushing back to Thursdays, but normally
Movies
it's
are on
Fridays
Tuesdays now.
You
Oh,
know,
you're,
shut the
you're
fuck
talking
up.
video. You're talking theater release. I'm sorry. I was talking video.
Hey, Willie,
Yeah, movie
what
theaters.
day did Spider-Man Far From Home release in theaters?
I'm sure that was for a special reason because of 4th of July. You can
Uh-huh.
shut your whore mouth.
I'm just saying, sometimes they move shit.
Is that the norm or is that the exception?
That's the exception.
Then
But
shut
this-
the fuck. I'm just kidding. That's too
Apparently,
mean.
this game
I'm
was the
mean.
exception.
I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. That's a little too far. I didn't mean to shut the fuck up. You're an awesome guy. I'm sorry for all that. But anyway, I finally fucking went and got it Friday. I was there when they fucking opened. I was like, give me my fucking copy, goddamn it. Shut my fuck up. Don't even talk to me. Just here's my fucking receipt. Give me the goddamn game.
Walking into the store already angry like they owed him the game 3 days earlier.
They even gave me a fucking poster for it that I didn't give a shit about. I burned it on my way out. Okay, I didn't really do that, but I don't really give a shit about the goddamn poster. How you like your poster, Chris?
I didn't get a poster. I bought it from
Oh, you-
Amazon.
Oh, that's right. Well,
I had a pre-order bonus discount rather, so I got the game for like $45 on Amazon.
that's more than fair. More than fair. Oh yeah. So I finally started playing the game, and I got some little issues with it. No, of course there's good and bad, but let's start off with the bad so we can end up with the good. Because it's end on a happy note. So far, I've been having some problems with the controls, and nothing I can do to change it. It's just a little minor gripe. It's just 2 buttons that I wish I could switch. to some other buttons. But the way you use your abilities, your powers, I just want to move that button over, and the way you can use your there are synergy attacks where you can use abilities with other people. It's an alright mechanic. It's kind of like in Ultimate Alliance 2 when you could team up with another person and use like your ultimate ability with someone. Now you can just use regular abilities, which all it does is use them at the same time with another person, and I guess it does some kind of damage multiplier with it, I'm guessing. There's a bunch of numbers on the screen. I never really... They go by too fast to really notice what the hell they are.
They're too small, really, to be able to see very well.
I'll give you that. I mean, I can see them. I have no problem with that. I can't really see the difference. Like, is it doing more? Because they're just stacking on top of each other, so it's kind of hard to see. So like, that's whatever. But I mean, I wish I could move those buttons. And I have noticed there's a definite graphic degrade in handheld mode.
Yes,
But-
there very
but
much so is.
But it's not bad enough to hinder the enjoyment. Like, it's not that bad. I'm still having fun. I mean, so far I've played mostly on handheld mode because I went to the beach Friday and drove back Saturday. God, it's a 3.5 hour drive. But anyway, at the beach house there's no internet at all, and also like I didn't want to take up the TV anyways because I was having my earbuds in playing the Switch, and I'm pretty far into it, so I'm happy with that. I think I'm just landing in Wakanda. Yes, you go to Wakanda. I'm sure that's not even a spoiler, but just getting there, so I'm still playing through it. And there's something. There are 3 spider people, which I can appreciate, but there's also too many clone spots taken up all at the same time. It's like they're all clones of each other, pretty much. Sure, their moves are slightly different, but the 3 spider people. You got Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Spider-Gwen.
None of those characters are clones.
No, he's saying when it comes to...
I know, I get the joke Bachman's saying.
Ben Riley's a clone. Kane's a clone. The Jessica Drew from the Ultimate Universe is a clone.
I meant clone character. All right, calm
You mean
it down.
similar characters?
I'm like, if we're talking about Smash Brothers, we're talking about clone characters here.
I would
Like
never talk Smash Brothers. I don't
Pikachu
play
and
that game.
Pichu, they're clone characters. Fox, Falco, Wolf, they're clone characters. Mario, Luigi, Dr. Mario. You know what I'm saying here. And I mean, it's just like, come on, guys. I mean, I would probably, it's going to sound a little sexist, but I would probably have left out Spider-Gwen. Does that sound a little sexist?
Why? Spider-Gwen's immensely
Yeah.
popular right now.
Well, I mean, so is Miles Morales with, Into the Spider-Verse and all that. I wouldn't leave out Spider-Man. I mean, that'd be kind of dumb. I mean, just because there's 3 fucking spots taken up by him, and it's like, could add some other people. But I guess the DLC, it's whatever. It's just like, I wish you didn't have like 3 clones. Now, and it's weird to use all of them because I tried that with Venom, so they're all spider people technically. I'm like, hee. It's like, oh yeah, this is not that fun. Using all 4 of them. I would not advise that unless you're like hardcore with it.
I'm gonna do it now just to spite you.
Team
I mean,
Spider-Verse.
It's not gonna affect me.
No, it's
And
gonna affect you. You're gonna be
and-
so mad.
I'm gonna choose someone else when we play together, so it won't happen. You can have
Okay.
you have 3 of them being, but I'm gonna be my own person.
Then I'm gonna kick you out of my game.
Is there no Spider-Man Noir? Is there no Peter Porker?
Not
Nope,
yet.
sadly. Well, I don't think there will be. If they had a Spider-Man DLC or Into the Spider-Verse DLC,
I wouldn't put it past them.
and that would actually, I mean, I would, but I mean, I don't think they would even think of doing that, even though they should. Get a little Penny Parker in there.
That movie just hit Netflix. If anything, now everybody's seen it.
As well they should. That's a fucking great goddamn movie. Actually, it's my favorite movie of last year for the animation alone.
Yep, that's fair.
I mean, I'm not saying the story wasn't bad or wasn't good. I'm just saying the animation alone is enough to make it skyrocket.
It was awesome.
But I mean, I am having a lot of fun with it, even though there's some definite downgrades in the complexity of the gameplay. Like there's no more like grabbing button like in the Ultimate Alliance 2. There's no button combos like I think in the Ultimate Alliance 2, like you would press light attack, heavy attack, light attack to do like a little tripping attack. Like your little combos and like do like a trip, so someone you're fighting will just like, oh, I'm falling down, like stun them a bit. And there's like different moves, kind of like there's different combos to do different things. That's all gone. It's just a button mashing of light attack and heavy attack, and no combination really does anything weird, fun. It's all just bam, 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 bam. So they kind of downgraded that for it, which I am okay enough with it, if that makes sense. It's all right. Chris, did you have much experience with Ultimate Alliance 2?
Ultimate Alliance 2, yeah, I played the hell out of it. Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2, I played the heck out of. But for 3, I've only gotten about, I want to say, 2.5 hours in, just because I've been busy with some other things. And
that's fair.
I'm still on the raft, to give you an idea of where I am right
now.
yeah,
that's okay. But what I'm saying is that like making sense.
Yes,
Can you
I think
echo
so.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There are some different downgrades. It's like they didn't make what was there 10 years ago better. It seems like they just went back to Ultimate Alliance 1.
That's kind of sad.
And I'm also okay with the story not having anything to do with Ultimate Alliance 2, because Ultimate Alliance 2 had nothing to do with Ultimate Alliance 1. At the end of Ultimate Alliance 1, no, it was Ultimate Alliance 2 that left out a cliffhanger with Galactus showing up. I would love that they continue with that, but they did not. Oh well. But
at the end of Ultimate Alliance 2, you fight and beat Galactus.
No. That's Ultimate. He's a boss in Ultimate Alliance 1, like somewhere near the end, maybe middle to end. He's a boss in there. No, it's
maybe
like
the one I finished.
It's like the very end scene of Ultimate Alliance 2. Like Galactus is like over the behind the world laughing or something. Like he's a giant fucking purple guy. Like like the Fantastic Four 2 should have done back in 2006, 7, 8, whatever fucking year it came out.
I'm not sure they should have done that. They should have done Ultimate Galactus, which was better. It made more sense.
Giant fucking cloud. Fuck off.
And the one from the Ultimate comics made more sense because it wasn't a giant purple guy, but it also wasn't a cloud.
What was it in there?
It was like space swarm of locusts.
Okay.
That had a hive mind that would swarm through space and eat planets, which made sense. And it was an entity called Galactus.
I don't know if making sense is the right word.
Well, it visually makes a little more sense than a purple dude who's 8,000 miles tall.
I'll give that to you.
That was kind of the 60s. They were all on drugs. The big dude, purple helmet. Fuck yeah, Galactus.
I mean,
they were all kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's better than a fucking a giant fucking cloud.
Every version is better than a big dumb fucking cloud storm.
And you know who didn't learn from that? Green Lantern. Let's make Parallax a giant cloud too.
Yeah. Especially since he's supposed to be a bright yellow energy being. No, we're going to put him inside of a dark cloud so that we can't see anything.
All right, so everything I did say, I'm still having fun with the game. I'm going to play through it and definitely play through it again and probably again, because I did that with Ultimate Alliance 2, because I had played it multiple times.
And this game is designed for you to play through it multiple times so you can level people up.
Oh, yeah. From one of the reviews I heard, they said they completed the game, and there's like a little, like, not a mode, but there's like a little thing you can do where you can upgrade all your characters. That kind of upgrades everybody. It's like slightly percentage-wise. And you can fill that in, and someone said they only filled in not less than a quarter of it by beating it one time. And I'm playing on master mode. I think there's like easy, and then I guess master's normal.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and then after you beat that, I hear there's like another higher level, like legendary or whatever. I don't know what they call it, but I'll be played in that. It is difficult. Some bosses are kind of bullshit. Have you gotten to where you fight any good guys yet, Chris? I'm not going to spoil too much, but I don't know if that will ring a bell. If it does, Mysterio's there. You have to fight some good people.
I don't think so. No.
Well, anyway, you have to fight 3 good guys because they're like getting controlled by Mysterio or whatever. And that fucking fight, because you have to fight 3 people at once, and they're all targeting whatever character you are. So if you're playing solo, it's like I can't do shit because every 2 seconds I'm getting knocked down, and I can't stagger their attacks, but they can stagger my attacks. It's like this kind of bullshit.
It goes with what some of the reviewers were saying, that the boss battles are sometimes a bit overpowered that they put in this game, where you're going to die a few times before you figure out the pattern of how things work or how to properly counter stuff. That's what a few of the reviews had stated that I had seen.
That one is the worst one I've had so far. I mean, I've died in some boss battles, but I mean, it wasn't like anything like, oh man, this is too. Other than that one, was like, come on, you have three bosses pretty much all at once, and they're all targeting me. Maybe if I was playing co-op with someone else and they were kind of like dividing their attacks, no, they're going after me. And I'm like, this is kind of like, go after someone else, but nope. I'm like, all right, what the fuck ever. And I am a little disappointed in the infinity trials they have. There's like little dimension rifts they have that where you can go play like it's like a little arcade mode type thing. Like, but all it really is play like this boss battle, but you have like certain rules to do. Like you get like stars for that unlocks different costumes. And I prefer what they did in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, where it's like whole sections of stuff that I was like, kind of like not really a what if, but they like have whole sections like you're the X-Men and you have to go through the X Mansion and fight off these people. It's like a whole separate thing, just like a little section off story that's by itself and nothing to do with the rest of the game. But it's like a little, little adventures like that, and it's like little little small things, but it's fun. This one's just rehashing what you already did, so it's Unless they get better with it, I don't know. I only play a little bit of them. It's a little hard to get. I'm of course cheesing out by over leveling and then going back to the easier ones, but because that's the only way to fucking do it to get any goddamn stars in it. So yep, cheese it out. And regardless of all this hate I've been saying, it's still a fun ass game. I'm having fun with it. Just wish it could have lived up to being better than Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1.
Well,
it's gone. Go ahead.
It had some big shoes to fill to try and do that. I mean, let's be honest.
It's like they reverted back to Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 instead of 2.
Well, I guess you just got to wait until Marvel Ultimate Alliance 4 then, and then you'll get the better experience.
I mean, I hope so.
Or you'll be let down again.
And I hope I'm not in my 40s by the time it comes out too. Another 10 years, because that Ultimate Alliance 2 came out in 2009.
Really, it's more like 7 years.
No, it was Ultimate Alliance 2 came out in 2009.
Oh, okay. But yeah, what was the gap between 1 and 2 though? It was only like a few years, so you should follow that.
And of course, the X-Men Legends games came out for, which was just the same thing with just X-Men characters. And
all Marvel Ultimate Alliance was a rehash of the X-Men Legends with more Marvel characters.
Mm-hmm. And better graphics.
And they also had less X-Men characters.
Yes, there were less X-Men characters because there were more Marvel Comics characters in general. That is accurate.
But they did do something, the same thing that Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 did, at least so far that I'm seeing, is every character only has one alternate costume. And I've only unlocked one so far, and it's kind of shit. It's just, the only one I unlocked was Black Widow, and her outfit goes from black to being white and gold. I'm like, it's just a reskin? It's just a different color reskin, that's it. It's not even a whole different character model. Like they did some cool shit with the outfit. It's just a recoloring.
I will have to say I do enjoy the fact that the voice of Spider-Man is the same from the Spider-Man PS4 game. That's a nice touch.
Goddamn right. Yeah, nice. I forget his Yuri something.
Yuri Lowenthal.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a memory.
He's awesome.
Now, if only they got what's his name who did Miles and Into the Spider-Verse.
If only. But yeah, I'm glad, Willie, that you're enjoying Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I will hopefully be playing some more of it later today.
Hopefully with me at some point.
I will play Marvel Ultimate Alliance with you at some point, Willie. Do not worry. It is on my list of things to do.
Well, I mean, we're also supposed to play more Smash Brothers, and that only happened the one time.
That's because you crushed my soul, and I felt sad.
Well, have you been practicing and get
No.
on my level, scrub?
No, I haven't, because I've got other shit to do.
Get
My
good.
game backlog is huge right now.
Get
You heard it here
good,
first.
goddammit.
Chris played with his WIllie and it made him sad.
That's fair.
Boom, 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 sad WIllie.
That's fair. I see what you did there. Well, let's move on to the next story here. Anthony, what do you got for us?
I was a little sad we didn't do the show last Saturday because it's kind of important when you launch a Kickstarter to let people know about it, get it out there on day one, and try to get some damn pledges. And so I was a little concerned, but then luckily Pacifist launched. I can't remember, what was it, the Tuesday before, so 2 Tuesdays ago, and we had a launch event at a local brewery, which went really well. A whole bunch of people heard about it, and then on day one had a whole bunch of backers, and it ended up by the time we went to bed on the first night, it was 60% funded on its way to $7,000, and in less than a week, it actually did fund, so it already passed the $7,000 goal, and they put up the stretch goals, which are now at the, let's see, what are the markers? 8,000, 12,000, 16,000, and 20,000. And so 8,000 is the really important one because it's upgraded manufacturing. It goes through a better printer, higher quality cards, higher quality box, and 3 new cards. So basically everything gets upgraded. And so that's like the best stretch goal as far as I'm concerned, because like everybody wants the better, higher quality cards. And to hit that goal, we need $8,000. And I just refreshed it, and after I've been looking at it this morning, we got another backer. So it just went up to $7,997. So we're $3 away from the first stretch goal. There is still 17 days left to go as of July 21st. It'll fund on August 7th. So just so everybody knows, this game, I worked on the artwork for a little over 2 years. The guys that started over 2 years before I was even involved for doing the artwork. So this game has like 5 years of playtesting, all told. All the artwork is done. The whole game is done and printed. They have full versions of it that they've been taken to local conventions and to different parties and stuff that they had at the launch party. The extra cards that we'll make due to the Kickstarter, we'll work on those. But the core game itself is finished. It's ready to go to print, and it has now passed its funding goal, so it will be printed. It will be going out to everybody. So yeah, now at this point, it's just a question of stretch goals. So if anybody feels the need to join me, Chris, and WIllie in pledging for it, which we all already did, and a bunch of my other my internet comic book family has gone in and pledged for it. Sean Pryor, the co-creator of what's the comic company that prints Princeless? Action Labs. The original, I think he was the original president of Action Labs. He backed it. So yeah, we've got there's some serious names that have backed this game. And then one of the co-creators, Russ, is now living in New York, playing in a couple of bands out there. So he's made a bunch of inroads in different circles. A bunch of people hearing about it out there. So this game is coast to coast. It's international now. We have, I think, at least one backer from Canada. So yeah, Pacifist is going to go all over the goddamn world. It's doing well. But yeah, if you want to help us make some more stretch goals, if we hit 12,000, there will be a Kickstarter exclusive expansion. So it'll be a 20 card exclusive expansion for the first 500 backers who pledged for the physical copy of the game, which is the $25 or more level. If we hit 16,000, it'll be a supersized exclusive expansion. So we'll add another 20 cards on top of the original 20. So as Pete put it, we'll lose more sleep. Everybody gains 20 more cards, which means the Kickstarter bonus pack will have 40 extra cards in it. And if we hit 20,000 jumbo expansion, we give up sleep. We get 15 more cards in this expansion for a total of 55. And we'll open that reward up to the first 750 backers who pledge $25 or more. So yeah, so if it hits 20,000, it's going to be a huge damn game. Because I want to say it's 55 now. Is that the right? Oh, no, it's 55 attack, 55 counter, 42 injury, 10 special. So there's 162 cards in the game right now. The first stretch goal will add 3 cards. The next one adds 20. The next after that adds another 20. The next after that adds another 15. So yeah, it could be over 200 cards. And one thing that this game has going for it, besides being hilarious and really fun to replay because of the way things change, is we did artwork for every card. every single card in Pacifist, every one of the 55 attack cards, the 55 counter cards, and the 10 specialty cards, and the 42 injury cards have separate artwork. There are no repeats. This is 162 individual pieces of art that we worked on. It's fucking insane, and that's one of the reasons it took so long. Because this isn't a deck that has 4 jokers in it or 4 jacks. Every card is different. Every card has specialized artwork. And then the custom cards that people can order on the website for the higher tier levels will make a custom card based on your idea. So we might end up having a ton of cards in this game.
Which would be awesome.
Yeah.
Go ahead and ask your question, Chris.
Oh, yeah. Chris has a question for WIllie about Pacifist and the day it launched.
WIllie, were you ethically first?
I'm going to say yes, because 3 minutes after I got the email, I click on it, and there's already 2 backers. I'm going to say as soon as that person hit launch, there was 2 people with them saying, all right, I'm clicking this right now.
So you weren't ethically first.
I'm saying I was, because 2 people, that seems very suspicious. They were right on it.
But WIllie, if you are number 3, then you are not number 1.
I'm going to say there were people that were probably right there and related to the person that whoever launched it was right there with them when it did it. I'm going to say they don't count.
Whoa.
Wait, you're
I'm
saying
pretty
the
sure they do
co-creators
count.
of Pacifist don't count?
If they are pledging it on themselves, I mean, you don't.
I pledged. I support my own work.
Yeah, but I mean,
put my money where my mouth is.
But you also don't count. I mean, wait,
Would
aren't
you not
just
vote for
Whoa.
would
wait,
you not
time
vote
out,
for yourself
time
in
out,
an
time out,
election?
time out. Are you not getting a deck just getting one for being a part of it?
Actually, I don't know if that's in my contract or not.
I mean, I mean, you would. I would assume that you would. I mean, you did the work for it. I mean, like, hey, here, thanks. Here's just a deck. I mean, it's like you're losing out on all that much. Jesus, give the people that worked on it some fucking free decks for it. Goddamn, have a heart, motherfuckers.
Oh, but I backed it. No, I'm pretty sure the moment it launched, because Pete actually created an account for Lonely Lemon for our company name. And so I'm pretty sure the moment he hit launch, his wife and co-creator of the game, Tylene, probably backed it. And then Russ over in New York probably backed it instantly as well. So it instantly had 2 backers.
And they also went for a high tier. So I noticed they already had like $200 something on it when I was like, for 2 backers, like, oh, okay. So
yeah,
that
the
also
first
seems
$75 the first $75 level went away real quick.
What do you mean run away? Like they backed out of it?
No, they I think Pete set it up wrong originally. It was only one available. And so one person backed it, it was gone. And they had to set up a new $75 level that more people could back. Because there's now 45 of those available, and 29 of them are left. So 16 people have backed it at the $75 level.
Well, what's like the tier? Like what's the first tier? $10 or something, or $20?
Well, the very first tier is $1, and for $1 you get a PDF copy of the game.
For getting a physical copy, what's that tier?
Physical copy of the game is $25. So with shipping, it's $30.
All right,
and
so
it's
that's what
only
I
in
did.
the U.S. because we're not doing outside of the U.S. shipping for this first Kickstarter. Because
Canada, you mentioned.
International shipping is a bitch.
Well, you just mentioned Canada, so. And you also mentioned international.
Or maybe it's Canada that we have as well. Oh no, I think mine says only ships to the U.S. because I marked it as it's shipping mine to the U.S. But yeah, $25 is for participation, official copy of the game. You also get a PDF copy of the game. The next one above that is the 75.
Jeez,
So
yeah,
that's
a jump.
It is a jump, but that's where you get a PDF copy of the game, a physical copy of the game, a custom pacifist themed jingle, and a shout out in the rule book. So your name goes in the rule book. So, like comics would give the thank you page for the backers. We're going to put all those names in the rule book. So your name will be in every copy of Pacifist.
Well, not my name.
That gets printed.
I did the 25 level.
If someone does a 75. And then 150 is you get PDF copy of the game, 3 physical copies of the game, a custom made one-of-a-kind card, a custom pacifist themed jingle, and your name in the rule book. And then 200 is the highest tier. You get the PDF copy, 5 copies of the game, custom made one-of-a-kind card, custom pacifist theme jingle, and a shout out in the rule book. And I believe everybody that gets the custom copy of the card, like if you do the 150 where you get 3 copies of the game, you get 3 copies of your card. If you do the $200 one where you get 5 copies of the game, you get 5 copies of your custom card. And the custom card will be based on either an idea that you present to us or a photo the way we did the actual pacifist cards. So if people send us, a photo of them and their friend doing something stupid, we'll use that and turn it into the line work for the card. So you will actually be in the game. If you know the people who worked on pacifist and you look at the artwork on our cards, you can actually tell who the people are, because Russ and Chris and Pete and Tylene and all their friends got together and did a photo shoot, and all of our cards are based on them. And so, yeah, the artwork I did is actually based on line art done over photos of the people that actually created the game.
And I'm going on record saying I was first to pledge, because there was no goddamn chance
Willie,
when
you were not.
someone's sitting there with the person that's probably hitting the damn button to start it, and they say, okay, there is not a fucking chance in hell of me beating them.
Willie,
to
you
the
were
point.
third.
You're
Fuck
ethically
off.
third. But I'm sorry. I have to change my what I just said. You guys can't help us hit our first stretch goal, because we just got another backer and we now have $8,027 pledged. So we have our first stretch goal. Yes.
You heard it here first. Ethically first, you heard it here.
175 backers, still 17 more days to go. We've now cracked $8,000 of our $7,000 goal. So yeah, it's guaranteed. The game is done. It will be printed. It is going to print after everything funds. So this is fucking awesome. So for those that have already shared it and tweeted about it and pledged for it, thank you very much. It's so fucking cool to see something that I worked on for literally years. We started the artwork for this project, and we completely scrapped the art style and restarted 3 times, which if you've never tried designing something and you like start making cards for a game and then get like 10 or 15 of them done and then go, no, that's not going to work. We have to change the whole thing. And you basically have to take all the research you've done so far, all the artwork, and just set it aside and start over. It's fucking maddening. And we did that 3 times for Pacifist before we hit on the art style that we all agreed really worked for the game, the spirit of the game, and really worked for like the tone that we wanted to get across. So yeah, it's insane that, yeah, we worked on this. Like, this is a game that's got like 5 years of work put into it. So to see this many people, to see almost 200 people that want to play this game now, like it's so awesome. Like, it feels great to just like see people that are gonna fucking that, and knowing how much fucking fun they're gonna have when you release the Kraken and someone gets a stub toe from it and that puts them in a coma. Like the weird random shit that happens when you play this game. It's so much fun. It's like, honestly, every time I replay Pacifist, it's like the first time you played Cards Against Humanity and you were kind of shocked. Like, that's the type of weird reaction you get basically every time you play this game. Because it's weird and it's random and it's super fun.
2 things. One, so yeah, I remember all that you just talked about because I remember you bitching about it.
And because he's ethically third.
All right,
And because
listen.
he's ethically third.
I may be ethically third in pledging this, but hopefully I'm ethically first in everyone's heart.
Let's start calling WIllie ethnically third. He's from the third world. He's ethnically third.
I'm gonna need a minority report on this one.
We'll ask Naki. He'll see if it's okay.
And then second of all, when is the release, like the time frame of actually receiving it? I'm just a little curious. I don't remember off the top of my head.
I believe we put, I want to say it's November. Let me check real quick just to be sure.
Just a little curious.
Yeah, the idea was to get it once it actually funds. You have to wait it's like a week to 10 days before Kickstarter gets the money into your account. And then we have to do, the main order for the game. And then we have to start working all the custom stuff because, of course, we can't do that until we know how many we're doing. And we got to get the information from people. Let's see where. Oh, no, it should be on the pledge levels. Where's the delivery date? Yeah, estimated delivery is November 2019.
Okay,
So, yeah, the idea. Yeah, the idea is to have it to you at the latest by the end of November so that people can give them out as Christmas presents.
I was about to say hopefully before Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah,
I
we're
mean,
going,
and it's gonna be for me. Fuck everyone else.
yeah, the regular, the $1 tier level, we have the estimated delivery is August because everybody will get the PDF email of the PDF copy of the game that you can print your own copy. And then the physical ones are in November, and then the jingles and stuff, they pushed that one out to December just because it's going to take some time to do the custom cards and the custom jingles. But because like Russ is a musician, like he moved to New York City to play in bands in bars there because that's how good this fucking dude is with a guitar. If you watch the videos on Kickstarter, he's the one with the big like bouffant hair, big tall dude. He's like 6'4". But yeah, he's a guitarist in a bunch of rock bands, and he's pretty fucking. He's the guy that just stands around looking cool and makes us all feel not cool. That's Russ. He's the cool guy. But yeah, so he's gonna be doing jingles for people. So there's one on the video, so you can see like the type of stuff we're talking about. But yeah, it's awesome. It's gonna be so much fun.
And I'm still on this. I'm still saying I'm first because I'm the first one to pledge that does not have a hand in how, in this whole deal.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
I think that's true, but I'm going to ask Pete to send me a list of the first 10 backers because once you have 10, if you're the person who created the Kickstarter, you can actually see it on the backside. As a person who just backed it, I can't see that. When I go to community, I can see where people backed it from. So yeah, so we've got Boise, Meridian, Nampa, all in Idaho, Brooklyn, Kuna, Idaho, Salt Lake City, Los Angeles, New York, Portland, Seattle, and then backers from which countries? We have 162 from the U.S. We have 2 from Canada, 2 from Sweden, 2 from the United Kingdom,
Jesus.
1 from Australia, 1 from Chile, 1 from the Czech Republic now, 1 from Mexico, and 1 from New Zealand. We have a backer from New Zealand. How fucking awesome is that?
Oh, I mean,
it is international, bitches, even though we're not shipping internationally. So I'm guessing those are people that just give us $1 to like be like, hey, thumbs up, have fun with your game, hopefully.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Which, and hey, every dollar helps, every dollar counts. We just went from being $3 below our first stretch goal to being $27 over it. So hell yeah. One more person pledged for the $25 level, and that just got us past our first stretch goal. So yeah, so we're getting the high quality cards, the really nice, I think it's the nice glossy ones where they'll be, almost like poker playing cards. So that way they'll be able to stand up to some more wear and tear.
I'm a nice glossy one.
What?
Yeah,
I don't even
gloss
know
like
what that means.
Gloss like a glazed donut.
Glazed donut. They were doing fucking at Krispy Kreme. They were doing a buy a dozen, get another dozen for $1. Donuts. God.
But yeah, that's my news of the week. Pacifist is doing well, and hopefully they'll keep doing even better. So go help us hit our next stretch goal.
My news of the week is I'm getting paid, bitch.
Hopefully, eventually.
Well, I mean,
After 2 years worth of work, I would really like to
got
get
it,
paid
and
a
you're
little bit
getting
of
the
money
first
for all the fucking
already.
work we did on this game. Because yeah, so far, like Pete's made custom shirts. He's ordered, preview decks and had, early versions of the prototypes and stuff made like multiple times through different printers. So like he's dropped a couple $100 printing copies of this game already. And literally at this point, all this game has done is cost us money and time. We haven't gotten any money back from it.
Did you
So,
say he just he's making shirts? Is that what you said?
he's made 2 different shirts. We had just all black shirts that said pacifist.net for the very first convention we went to back in like 2017. And then him and Tylene at the new event on Tuesday for the launch date, they had brand new baseball jerseys made up, the ones where you have the like colored half sleeves and then like the gray front, and it had the pacifist logo on it, which then that was weird because I walked into a bar and saw people wearing artwork that I designed on the front of their shirts. So that kind of threw me off for a second because I wasn't expecting that. I'm like, oh, hey, I remember drawing that. Like, what the? Oh, weird. It's the strangest thing to see somebody wearing your artwork.
Did they buy like a little silk screen, or did they just order these off somewhere for?
I think they just ordered them. Like they had they took the logo and just
Custom-made.
uploaded it to like the what is that Cafe Press or whatever. I think they just made
gotcha.
a couple, like 3 or 4 of them.
Because I actually
But
had some friends that actually bought a silk screen for shirts.
Oh wow, that's the way to do it. You can make good money doing that.
I'll say I don't think it's that much to do, like like to buy one, or at least it's not. It's relatively inexpensive to get like the individual silk screen to put the ink on.
Yeah,
For the design, I think once you get the thing, it's like the rest is all right.
yeah. The machine itself is probably a little expensive, but yeah, the ink's not that expensive.
Well, all it really is like a little thing you just close down on the shirt. That's all it really is.
Yeah.
I don't see it being that much.
Or
Yep,
This-
that's my news of the week.
This-
Pacifist, go back it.
This is your cue, Chris.
Go give it money.
what's my
this-
cue, Willie? Let me know.
this-
Go ahead, stretch goals.
To not let awkward silence happen.
But that's our favorite thing is awkward silence on this show.
Yeah, but you
We
get
don't
rid
have
of
time
it
for awkward
post.
silence. We have Phase 4 announcements. We have Spider-Man Far From Home.
That's true.
We got the Walking Dead. I still gotta talk about this motherfucker.
yeah,
the
and we've
brick.
got 20 minutes of showtime left. So
And yeah, but you always get rid of those pregnant pauses, and I'm never a fan of that.
what did I get rid of them?
Yeah, because it's comedic timing,
It's
man.
not comedic timing. It's laziness.
It's not laziness. Sometimes a pregnant pause is funny.
Oh no.
Uh,
Nope.
All right, let's get
You
into
can
phase
stop
4.
that right now.
Let's get into phase 4. I'm going to power through this. We're going to go fast. They announced a shitload of stuff at Hall H last night for the Marvel Studios, or whatever they ended up calling the panel event. Kevin Feige was there. They announced a bunch of stuff. They announced actors for things. And I have a list of the movies that were coming out and television programs here for 2020 through 2021. We didn't get to 2022. There's stuff coming after that. They didn't have time to talk about in this event. We'll talk about it at the end. So first up, in May 1st, 2020, we've got a Black Widow movie that presumably takes place before Avengers Endgame.
That would make sense.
Presumably.
Presumably.
Apparently, I read something that said the Russo brothers, which it said this thing, and I'm like, I don't understand why they would have a say on this since they're just the directors, not like the showrunners. I'm doing air quotes for this, since isn't that Kevin Feige, who's like coming. Well, anyway, they're saying that Black Widow is dead. She's gone. It's
Yes,
over.
they said that the sacrifice can't be undone because then you would have never gotten the gem.
I don't know why it's up to the Russo brothers to say that. I don't think they have a say in that, but whatever.
They were in the room plotting out the story on things. I mean,
Yeah, but they don't have the final say. If Kevin Feige wants to bring him back, like, fuck you, Russo brothers, we're fucking bringing him back.
so they very well could, but what this looks to be is something set prior to Endgame, which is a story of how Black Widow is such a badass, and introduce the new Black Widow, Yelena Belova, played by Florence Pugh. Also, David Harbour of Stranger Things fame is rumored to be playing the Taskmaster.
Wait, what?
Yes.
What? Taskmaster?
That is the rumor, is that he is Taskmaster.
And what's sad is after the not great outing as Hellboy, the first images of Taskmaster look awful.
Oh, they already have
So-
pictures of him with
Yeah,
him? Well,
there's
then-
photos of a supposed Taskmaster on set that somebody got like with a telephoto lens from a mile away of this character on top of a truck, and it looks worse than Ivan Ooze from the last Power
Well,
Ranger movie. Oh,
I
I'm sorry, I mean X-Men Apocalypse.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, they can always fix that stuff in post. I mean, especially
They can.
They'll do a lot with CGI. I mean, imagine
I'm
the
look-
fact that most of the costumes and stuff that people were wearing in Endgame were CGI'd over. Like the Quantum Realm suits they
That's
had
not
in
that
Endgame.
bad.
They never wore
Yeah.
those for real. Those are all CGI. The Quantum Realm suits. They didn't
I mean,
exist.
He looks kind of like was it Lord Zed from Power Rangers with that mask? Because it kind of has that line that goes up, from like the eye ridge to on top in the middle of the head, like a little in the mohawk line, kind of like that. I mean,
All right.
it kind of looks like that, but I mean, it's not that bad.
So we're going to keep powering through these things. They did show off some action scenes at the panel in Hall H. There's probably leaked video of it. I haven't seen it. It supposedly is Jason Bourne-esque kind of combat. So, hey, could be fun. What do we have up next in the list? November 6th, 2020, The Eternals, starring Angelina Jolie, Selma Hayek, Kumail Nanjiani. Richard Madden, and then there's probably some folks I'm forgetting. Kevin Feige promised they would, quote, go full on Jack Kirby with this movie.
And that one's also notable for, I can't remember which character and which actress it is, but it's the first MCU disabled hero where the character is deaf and they actually hired a deaf actress to play the role.
I do have a quick question here. I'm sorry if it's going to derail a little bit. What exactly are the Eternals? Give me a quick blurb about them.
Marvel Universe Immortals, born from, they were created by the Celestials. The Celestials are the giant, like,
they're
the huge,
apparently no more, right?
Yeah, the huge guys that, like, the Avengers team is now living in a body of one as their new base.
Well, Nowhere was one in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, Nowhere's head. It was the head of a Celestial. They're like people the size of Galactus, but they all had like crazy Jack Kirby armor and never talked. Like none of them had faces. It was always just different versions of armor.
And also, Guardians of the Galaxy
got bored.
1.
Yeah,
They got together,
they got together, got bored, and created the Eternals.
Okay.
And the Eternals were like one of the first races on Earth.
Oh, okay.
And they're a bunch of immortals, and they're in the Marvel history, they're the basis of some of mythology. So like one of the Eternals is Icarus, who actually was Icarus from Greek myth. So it's a lot of that.
I gotcha.
It's characters that have been around so long that they faded into mythology, but they actually still live on Earth.
All right. Continue on, Chris. Sorry about
Next up, fall 2020 coming to Disney Plus. We all knew about it already, but is the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They did debut a new logo for it, in which Captain America's shield is in the background. Anthony Mackie did confirm that they have started doing initial costume fittings for his new Captain America costume, and there is concept art that is circulating around. He did bring the shield out on stage with him, and Daniel Bruhl, who played Baron Zemo, appeared in a video where he was also teasing the purple mask.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my penis just got hard.
Yeah, if you're gonna do Zemo, the fact that they're putting him in the mask, like that's insane.
That
the
one
idea
should be fun.
The idea that we ever got to this point where we might see Zemo in a purple beanie, like it's fucking ridiculous, and I love it.
Yes. So that one looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. They've got a bunch of stuff that's going to be going on for it, but totally on board. Let's go to the next movie. February 12th, 2021 is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So yes, they are bringing the Mandarin in officially. Mandarin being played by Tony Leung. I probably screwed up the pronunciation of that, who has done a bunch of Hong Kong films. Canadian actor Simu Liu will be Shang-Chi. The casting was just finalized a couple days ago, and he's been having fun on Twitter as everyone's found his old tweets being like, hey, Marvel, let's talk about Shang-Chi from like 3 years ago, and he's like, oh, shit.
He reposted it like 30 minutes after the announcement, and was like, cool, got the job.
Yeah.
And as a resident martial artist, I'll be honest, the very first thing I tried to look up was if Simu Liu is an actual fucking martial artist. And sadly, there's nothing on his Wikipedia. There's nothing in his IMDb other than saying that he did fight choreography. So I went to his Twitter page, and if you scroll back like 4 or 5 tweets, there's a video of him, and he actually put up a camera, and he's like, this is what my dog has to deal with. And his dog's in the background, sitting there like looking at him weird, and he's sitting there doing an actual nunchuck routine. And I've gone through and looked at other stuff. This is a guy who's an actual martial artist. So we hopefully shouldn't have the Iron Fist problem. You can teach actors to fight on screen. You cannot teach actors to behave like lifelong martial arts trained people. You can't turn someone into Ray Park overnight. It doesn't fucking happen. So the fact that our Shang-Chi is someone who's actually trained in martial arts, I think we're okay. I was so happy to see that, because poor Finn Jones.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say.
One little quick question: do you think this Mandarin's going to be a little bit on the racist side? Because I mean, the Mandarin in the comics was kind of racist.
I don't think so, because Tony Leung looks Asian and he's playing an Asian supervillain. So
no, I mean like full on Fu Manchu.
Oh, I doubt they're going to do that.
There will be no mention of Fu Manchu. That part of Shang-Chi is a rights nightmare, and I don't believe Fu Manchu will be mentioned, because Fu Manchu is actually Shang-Chi's dad in the comics.
Oh, I meant just like the mustache style.
No, I
No,
don't think they're going to do
doubt
that
they're
at
gonna
all.
play with that. I'm sure they're going to cram some reference into Iron Man of the whole 10 rings thing that was going on there. Because
Yeah.
remember, what was it? The
Oh,
post,
yeah.
the
Yeah.
Marvel story after Iron Man
The
3
one
with
shot.
Hail to the King, that one, where
Yep.
they established that the real Mandarin's pissed that Trevor was doing all of that.
Yeah,
Next
but
up,
I love Trevor.
I do too. Next up in spring 2021, coming to Disney Plus, is WandaVision. This is the series focused on Paul Bettany's Vision and Elizabeth Olsen's Wanda Maximoff. They will reveal how Vision is resurrected after Infinity War, or how Vision appears to be in here.
Oh,
They
I thought
did
he's
also
dead too.
say that a grown-up Monica Rambeau will star in this as well. So
Yeah, Tiana Terrace,
who?
who was announced at the panel. And if
Who?
you notice, Paul Bettany, the little girl from Captain Marvel, in the
Okay,
comics grows
what-
up to be
what-
the next Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau.
Why is she going to be in Wanda and Vision?
don't know.
Don't know.
Okay,
But if you
whatever.
look at the pictures from that panel as well, Paul Bettany is wearing a white outfit, white shirt, white pants. We're more
Yay.
than likely going to get the white Vision because he's missing the Mind Stone. So when they redo his body, I think they're going to fix him. Because, yeah, he's an android. It doesn't matter if he died. He just fucking
Well, the
put
real
the wiring
question:
back, turn him back on.
are they going to rebuild his body, or is this going to be the beginning of Wanda's reality-altering powers, and she basically brings him back somehow, and things get twisted? Because we'll touch
could
on
be
this
that as
later. Why I think it's going to start revealing some of her reality-altering powers
All
with
right.
another movie they have announced.
Since you mentioned that reality thing, my penis was going soft. Now it got hard again.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us, Willie.
You're
Next
welcome.
up, spring 2021, coming to Disney Plus, is Loki. This is not the Dark World Loki. This is not the Infinity War Loki. Remember, this is Loki as we saw him escape in Avengers Endgame. So it is Loki that has just gotten out from under Thanos' thumb from the fight we've seen in Avengers. This is going to be him with the Tesseract bouncing around the time stream, getting into all sorts of trouble.
Is he really bouncing around the time stream or
that
just
is-
going through space?
That is
It's gonna be
what
quantum-
got mentioned was
Quantum
time
Loki.
stream.
Because he's not using the time stone. He's only
Things
using
that
the
got
space
mentioned
stone.
were time stream.
That's weird.
Well, he has the space stone, but he's also a magician. He has magic.
Yeah, he's a trickster though.
From
Not
what-
really.
From what Tom Hiddleston said, what Kevin Feige showed him is the most creative and exciting thing he's ever done with this series. So this
I mean, I'm
coming
still excited to
to
see
Disney
it.
Plus.
I hope they fucking get Disney Plus on the PlayStation, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to see it.
Sucks, dude.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure
know.
they
So
will.
fuck
Have
you.
I thought they did announce it for PlayStation already.
I have no idea.
They will.
It's going to be on everything.
Well,
They're
I
going to
mean,
want people to
DC's
consume
not on it.
Yeah, but it's Disney. They're going to put it on everything because they want
yeah.
people to buy the $7.99 a month subscription or whatever. But next movie, and this one is important: Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Scott
Oh,
Derrickson
yeah.
has vowed, who is the director, that the sequel would be the first scary film in the MCU. Benedict Cumberbatch will not be fighting alone in this. Elizabeth Olsen's Scarlet Witch will be on hand to help, and they have said the events of the WandaVision series lead directly into the movie.
Ooh.
So WandaVision is connected directly to Multiverse of Madness with Doctor Strange.
Chris,
Yes.
for real, I need you to stop with this, because any like one more hour of having my dick hard, I'm gonna have to call a doctor. Jesus Christ.
Oh, that was gross.
Yep, that was too
That's
much.
gross. But yes, this one could be really interesting. You've got the two magic wielders of the MCU that are pairing up in a movie, and I'm curious to see with a Multiverse of Madness, this again ties into potentially crazy Scarlet Witch with her reality-altering powers. What has she done to reality to bring Vision back to life, or something like that, or potential things that we could have coming into play.
Like children.
Hmm
Wait, what?
Or mutants getting created because of this.
Yeah.
Yay!
In
Oh
the
my
Marvel
God.
comics, Wanda and Vision had 2 children. They didn't actually have kids. She magicked them into fucking existence.
I don't agree with that at all, because there's too many people in this world.
Coming spring 2021 is a movie called What If. This is a Marvel. It's an animated series. I misspoke.
There we go.
Animated series for Disney Plus that is going to be basically like the What If comics, where they take a story we've seen in the films or anything else and do What If with it. And if you look at the voice cast, it's pretty much
Yep.
almost anyone who's been in a Marvel
Yep.
movie aside from Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans that have the potential to be in these. It looked like. all
mean,
overseen by the Watcher.
And it basically means they can do any story. Like, oh my god, a what if animated could be so good.
Yes.
Because there are some amazing what if comics from back in the day. And there's a couple hundred of them out there that they can reference, even without looking at the new MCU stuff that they can do. But yeah, like they can reference anything. Like, oh, that's an unlimited like source of potential.
As they put it in the description, this will depict alternate roads not taken by such characters such as Ant-Man, Killmonger, and Peggy Carter, all of whom will be voiced by the actors who played them on the big screen.
I need an episode that has fucking Howard the Duck. This is non-negotiable.
It's possible. It's possible.
Non-fucking negotiable, Disney. Get your head out your ass.
Next up on Disney Plus, because I'm trying to power through this, fall 2021, Hawkeye. Jeremy Renner returns to the role of Hawkeye. He will be training Kate Bishop to become the new Hawkeye, basically be her mentor. So if you read the Hawkeye books by Matt Fraction that had Pizza Dog and things like that in it, that is this. I want Pizza Dog, damn it. Put
Who's
Pizza
this?
Dog on TV.
Who's he training?
Kate Bishop, the current
Kate
Hawkeye
Bishop.
in a lot of the well,
So
she goes by Hawkeye.
She hasn't been
still.
in the movies at all.
She has not been in
No.
the movies yet.
Okay.
She was on Young Avengers.
Yes.
And now she's a West Coast Avenger, I do
Just
believe.
not in the movies. I'll see it when I see it. Gotcha.
So November 5th, 2021 is Thor 4. And earlier this week, they had announced that Taika Waititi was returning to write and direct Thor 4. At San Diego Comic-Con in Hall H, they announced it as Thor, Love, and Thunder, bringing back Taika Waititi and Tessa Thompson, who, in her own words, is Valkyrie's first order of business, will be finding her queen. But they did also announce that Natalie Portman will return as Jane Foster in the MCU to be the new Thor. What does that mean for Hemsworth?
Taika handed her the hammer.
And
So
then, yeah.
So just curious here. That means Thor's not going to be in Thor,
Hemsworth's going to be in it. He was on stage.
Hemsworth's going to be in it.
but he's with the Guardians. I'm so fucking confused, and this is before Guardians 3. I am very confused.
Doesn't necessarily mean that Guardians 3, the movie, takes place before this. Or
Yeah, but
after
that's
this.
just weird if they do
But the
that.
Guardians 1 and 2 took place before almost everything.
No, I mean, but I mean, this is like directly correlated to like being right after Endgame. He goes off with Guardians, and now they're it's just weird.
Well, we'll see what happens with it. I think it's going to be really interesting what it means for Thor Odinson. Who knows at this point? This could be how Chris Hemsworth exits the MCU by literally passing the hammer off. They're going to have to reforge Mjolnir, I guess, too.
Yeah, I'm alright.
If she's going to become Thor, they're going to have to reforge Mjolnir, which since Thor Odinson has Stormbreaker, who cares?
Yeah, the only way that happens is for Thor to become the Allfather and then recreate the hammer.
I would much rather have Beta Ray Bill over Jane Foster because she does not give a fuck about these movies, does she?
Well, too bad because that storyline was popular as fuck and won a bunch of Eisners, and people want to see female Thor. So
I mean, I have no problem with female Thor. It's just what's her name? God, I forgot already.
Natalie Portman.
Yeah, no, she didn't give a fuck about this. That's the reason.
Because they had issues with, supposedly a lot of it was they were supposedly bringing on a female director for Thor 2 that she was really excited for.
Okay,
and then that all turned to shit. And then we got what Thor 2 was, which by all accounts, nobody really cared for.
You know what? She's probably right in that. I'm sorry.
I mean,
my guess is she probably really likes Taika Waititi. He probably convinced her that this will be a fun job.
I mean, who doesn't?
That's fair too. So now this was the end of all the main things they put up on screen. But Kevin Feige did do his one more thing. He said, I don't have time to talk about the sequels for Black Panther or Captain Marvel. And he did even mention the Fantastic Four as things that were on the slate for Phase 4. But he did have someone he wanted to bring out on stage. And who came out on stage? But what is it? Is it Oscar winner or Emmy Award winner? I think it's Oscar Award winning. And I'm always screw up his name. I apologize. Mahershala Ali. Excuse me. Came out on stage, and they'd already given everyone in the audience hats that had the Black Widow logo on it. And he said, but Mahershala's got a hat of his own he wants to show us. And he pulls his hat up and puts it on his head. And across it in big bold letters, it says Blade. So Mahershala Ali is coming to the MCU to be Blade. Some people are a little cranky because they're like, he's 46 years old. I was like, so what? The dude's jacked and he's a good actor. It's going to be great. But how this came about, Kevin Feige was doing interviews after the event where he said, we got a call that said, hey, Mahershala wants to meet with you guys. And he goes, you don't turn down a meeting with Mahershala Ali, who says he wants to talk to you about something. And he basically came in and said, I want to be Blade. And they said, okay. And that's how this happened.
He was the best thing about Luke Cage season 1.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
he was Cottonmouth, for those that don't know. He won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor in Moonlight in 2016, the year that Moonlight won Best Movie. He's also won Critics' Choice Award and Golden Globes and BAFTA Awards. He's won 2 Academy Awards.
That
so,
first
this
season
is
went to shit
another
after he
Oscar
died.
winner. Yeah, he was the best villain in Luke Cage.
Yes, there's been nothing on when the release date is or anything like this. My guess is it's going to be 2022, 2023 when we start talking about Black Panther, Captain Marvel sequels. And God damn it, there better be a Spider-Man sequel announced soon because I can't live much longer with this cliffhanger.
Yeah, you know, that's fair. That is more than fair. The what the?
What the what?
Well, I mean, I censored it because they do it in both movies. What the?
Oh, yes.
You get a little bit of F.
Yeah.
That's all you get.
Yes.
No U. There's no U in there. Just what the?
So Marvel had a very busy Hall H. We didn't have time to talk about any other stuff that came out. There's a bunch of stuff. We can start touching on some more of that next week, like what they're going to do with Crisis on Infinite Earths for the DC TV shows.
Oh,
Let's put it this way. Brandon Routh has 2 roles, and Burt Ward is going to be in them.
And Brandon Routh wore a shirt under his shirt at Comic-Con to announce the Alex Ross-inspired character he will be playing.
Yes, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, so much stuff we can't cover it all this week. We still need to talk about Spider-Man. We'll probably do that next week. But we had to talk about what Marvel did at Hall H because there was so much stuff there. And as I go online, because the internet has to ruin things, there's so many people like, this looks boring for Marvel, or this is tying in with Marvel's SJW agenda because there's movies here with no white people in them, basically. And I was like, oh God, internet, stop it.
Fuck right
Yeah.
off with
I'm
that bullshit.
paraphrasing what some of the arguments there were, but I was like, do you like Marvel movies? Then just sit back and watch the Marvel movies because
you're getting more Marvel
You're
movies.
getting more Marvel movies. They're going to build up to more stuff. People are like, how does this live up to a world post Endgame? I was like, it's not. You've got to build up to the next big event. Do you not know how comics work?
Yep.
We finished the mega event. Now we build up to the next mega event.
Oh yeah, and I did find it on Simu Lu's Twitter, which is at SIMULIU, on December 3rd, 2018. Okay, at Marvel, are we gonna talk or what? Hashtag Shang-Chi. And then he retweeted it. Thanks for getting back to me. July 20th, 2019.
Yeah. He's having a lot of fun with this fact, and I
Yeah.
like it. I'm excited for it. I think the Phase 4 movies are going to be interesting. We've just got to see what happens. We've got a bit of a wait, though, because we don't have anything until May now. We've got almost a year until the next Marvel movie, I think. How am I going to cope?
Thank God we got Star Wars in December, because
Yeah.
that's all I'm living for now.
And Disney Plus, I don't think we get any series until fall in there. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. I, for one, am super excited about where they're going with things. But again, I think I've attested to it on this show before. I'm a Marvel shill. So yeah, I'm excited. Give me more Marvel. Make mine Marvel. I want to see what's going on. I'm also really curious, and this is not me trying to be like, let's talk about the war between Marvel and DC. I'm really curious to see what DC's plans are for the future now, because competition is good. Let's see what they do when they see this full slate of all of the upcoming Marvel flicks coming out. Do they double down and be like, here's some more Batman and Superman for you? Because don't take this the wrong way, Batman and Superman are tier 1 level characters, whereas some of the folks we're talking about, Doctor Strange and things like that, are not on the same tier of Batman and Superman when it comes to fan recognition? Or do they just keep going with what they're doing? I don't know. Please don't construe this as me saying these characters suck, Batman and Superman are better. I'm just saying name recognition wise.
No,
Well,
I know we're
Man
getting
of
a Crisis
Steel.
on Infinite Earth, so they're going to keep killing CWTV, and we're getting Kate Kane. We're getting fucking Ruby Rose as Batwoman, and she looks awesome.
Yep. But that does wrap up the coverage of things for this week. We are going to cover more of it next week because I think it's impossible on a 90-minute show to cover everything. That being said,
it's too much
we
stuff.
have 7 minutes to wrap this thing up because we're trying real hard to stick to the 90-minute mark max. So
fuck off of that.
in those 7 minutes, we're going to get into a little segment called What I'm Into. It's our chance to share with you our guys who are watching live or listening at a later date just what kind of geeky and or nerdy things we've been getting into so that maybe, just maybe, you'll want to check them out yourselves. Willie, kick it off for us.
All right, so of course, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, been playing that and having a lot of fun with it. I also went to go see Midsummer. It was a pretty good movie, a little Thought it was gonna have a little twist at the end, but it just is what it is, and that's okay. A24 did a good job with it. And then I also saw Yesterday, which was the movie where the guy gets hit by a bus, and all of a sudden, when he comes back to, the Beatles never happened, but he remembers all the songs, so he kind of capitalizes on it. And then that was actually pretty good. Could have done without the love story because that was kind of forced, and it was kind of could have done without that. The mysticalness of the Beatles not being there was kind of enough. But sure, throw in a fucking love story is the worst part about it. But other than that, it was pretty good. Then let's see. I also went to the beach Friday, and it was pretty fun. But I left yesterday because I didn't want to wake up at like 6 a.m. today to drive all the way back here to be for this to be here for the show. So I left yesterday afternoon. So I was there for like about 24 hours. Or less than 24 hours, but it was still fun. Had a golf cart down there, drove down on the dirt roads to the little beach areas. Technically a sound, not the beach, but still a good time. Other than that, I can't think of anything I might interrupt later on to find out. So next.
I will go next then. My stuff's real simple. Like Willie talked about, I'm playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I also picked up... Bullshit, what?
You played a little bit.
Yeah, well, I haven't had a ton of time.
You straight
That's
called
your
bullshit
fault.
on the first thing you say you did. Jesus.
Fuck you too, Willie. What else are we getting into? I started replaying Marvel's Spider-Man on PS4 because I want to replay it with the Far From Home suit because the Far
Not
From Home
bullshit.
suit is freaking gorgeous as rendered in game.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Opposite of bullshit.
I am watching season 4 of Last Chance U on Netflix because they just dropped that on Friday. It is a dumpster fire and greatly entertaining. What else have I been getting into? I am going to be going out today to do Pokemon Go Community Day from 4 to 7 this afternoon, Eastern Time. I did not play Harry Potter Wizards Unite Community Day yesterday because I forgot about it. Maybe that shows how much I remember that game. But that's what I've been getting into. Anthony, wrap things up for us. What have you been getting into, sir?
All right, let's see. I got all caught up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. again. Watched the big throwdown with the fake Coulson. I finished the 11th season of Supernatural on Netflix, so I got 3 more years worth of that show to go, and apparently it's causing me to have weird dreams. I'm 40 levels into the Season 2 Battle Pass on Apex Legends. Still having some fun with that game, still being aggravated, but climbing closer and closer to the gold level in the ranked, which will be awesome because I don't think I ever made gold in Overwatch because I'm not really that good at FPSs. But the 3-person team versus a 6-person team, we do a little better with the people I play with on Apex Legends. So hopefully I'll actually make gold, which gives you an unlock for the character and I think a skin or something for going into the next season. So yeah, enjoying that, playing some Dead by Daylight. After about 25 freaking matches of getting all of his stats maxed, perks maxed out, I finally got the Ghostface Adept. The new getting Adept with the killers now with the new scoring system is an annoyingly fucking aggravating pain in the ass. It's damn near impossible to get a merciless kill now with just the 3 perks that the killers come with. But I did get that done. Pushing Pacifist, like I said, trying to get it past more stretch goals now that it's funded. So super happy about that. And then I also hopped back into Amazing Spider-Man, kept going on my New Game Plus that I've been working on in the new Far From Home suit, which is gorgeous, and as well as the Black Stealth suit. Both just look super cool. I love the fact that they just keep dropping skins in that game. It's one of the best game purchases ever. I also logged back into Anthem for the second time in a month. And for the second time in a month, 20 minutes into a free play, I got booted from the fucking servers because EA is now pushing out the Cataclysm patch has finally started for an event that was supposed to happen in March that apparently now we're going to get in September. And they still haven't made the game stable. Bugs that were there 4 to 6 months ago are still there, and there's still parts of the game that it's not playable. So it's fucking ridiculous. They basically completely screwed the pooch on that game, and there's a reason only like 40 people are streaming on Twitch. And then the big one that I finally got caught up on because I buy my comics on payday, Walking Dead 193. Kirkman does a big letter in the back explaining why he ended it the way he did, because he doesn't like that anticipation when you're getting near the end of a movie and you know it's going to end and they're wrapping it up. I will actually have to say I hate the fact that the internet spoils everything, but knowing that this was going to be the last issue and I had a week to kind of let that sit in my head before I picked it up and read it after the amazing events in the previous issue in 192, knowing that this is going to be the last one, and also the fact that it's like a triple thick comic. And it was still only $3.99. At the same time, I picked up Amazing Spider-Man 25, which was maybe an extra 6 or 8 pages, and they charged $8 for that. So yeah, Image is still killing it on the pricing. This was $3.99, and it's almost 3 times the size of a regular book. It jumps forward into the future again, and you basically get the wrap-up story, and you find out what happens to pretty much all the characters at the end of the story of The Walking Dead. And it's fucking Kirkman. When he's on his game, I'm not sure if there's anybody right now better in comics. He is an amazing storyteller. I cried reading it. I got to the end and was like, fuck you, I hate you, I love you. It's that good. Like, if you've never read The Walking Dead now, it's just like Invincible. You have a start, a middle, and an end. It's a complete story. And once again, he wrote another fucking masterpiece. The guy's a hell of a writer. Like, go read some of his comics. There's a reason that it's the number one show on television. He creates great characters, even when weird things happen. But yeah, Kirkman can write his ass off. The book ended extremely well. I hate that it ended, but it's good.
I did hear a quote from him, like just recently, saying that he would start back up with The Walking Dead if people stopped buying his other comics. I just saw that quote. I
wonder if that was. I imagine that was probably a joke, but
that was probably him being a joke. Yeah.
Okay, I just saw that quote. And I was like,
if you read, there's like literally the back of this book instead of a letters page, it's like a 4-page. It's like 4 comic book pages, 3 columns each, and it's just a giant letter from Robert Kirkman about how long ago he knew the book was ending. And like Kevin Smith joked about it on Fat Man Beyond, because he had just talked to Kirkman like the week prior. And Kirkman was like, oh, no, there's no plans of ending the book. I'm going to keep writing it forever. And at that point, they'd already gone to print with the last issue. So like Kirkman's been lying to everybody for a while. But he talked to Charlie Adlard, the artist on the book, who's the co-creator with it, or not co-creator, but the co-worker on it with him. And they've known that this was coming for over 5 years. Like, he knew when he hit a certain point in the story, he knew where the end was, what was going to happen, and how certain characters were going to die, and that was going to wrap things up. And so, like, he's basically, in the letter, he said he started going down the path to the end of the story, and he wanted to hit, like, 300. He wanted to break, like, the Cerebus number, like Spawn's about to do. And he realized that every side story that he tried to write was pure filler, and they sucked because they weren't important. He was literally just trying to fill space to push the ending off. And so he bit the bullet and said, no, this is the story. This is how it wants to tell itself. And so he pushed forward and wrote the story as it was coming out. And The Walking Dead has an end, and it's a fucking fantastic ending. It's one of the best stories I've ever read. The Walking Dead is start to finish a complete tale now, and everybody should read it. It is fucking fantastic. It's some of the best horror comics ever written. And like all good horror, like a lot of Stephen King, it has very little to do with the zombies. It has to do with how humans interact with each other when faced with dire consequences for the world they're living in. And it's a damn good tale of humanity. Like, it was fantastic. But that's what I'm getting into.
All right. Well, that does wrap us up for this week with episode 366 of the All Things Good and Nerdy Show. Don't forget, we do stream this show live every Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, over at geeks.live. That is the official streaming home of the Gonna Geek Network. So find us there. We'll be back next week. Like I mentioned, we got a boatload of San Diego Comic-Con stuff we got to still finish up and address. Spider-Man, Far From Home talk. We're way behind on everything, guys. But don't worry. We're going to bear down. We're going to get it taken care of. Before we shut this thing down, though, you guys got any final thoughts for us?
Yeah, we gotta talk cameos in Far From Home. We gotta talk Mysterio. We gotta talk Bubblehead. We gotta talk fucking Aquarium Bubblehead. Get a Bubblehead.
It's true.
Like, goddamn, they got the Bubblehead on screen and made it work, and it was awesome.
Well, the Bubblehead was never actually on set, though. It was all CGI, but it worked. Worked real good. Willie, you got anything for us? I'm going to guess Willie got nothing for us.
I was about to say, I thought he fell asleep.
Well, I do have a question for Chris right quick.
Oh, you got
Never mind.
8 seconds as we shut this thing down.
Never
We'll
mind.
see you all next week.
Post.
Bye, guys.
Pacifist.net.
Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, Channel 3 of the Alpha Geek Radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast at gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.